My project was working with the YMCA to look at their training program that they use for their program directors. The program directors are the ones that run like the specific areas of the YMCA, like the pool, the child care, the fitness center, that kind of stuff. So this is the book that they have been currently using for their training. And the book is actually designed as a class. So it's supposed to be like a 2-day class, but it's not being utilized that way. So here's the agenda for this this book, and like I said, it's a 2-day class, but it's not being used that way. So what the my contact at the YMCA did is she asked me to look at this material because they're not able to go over this leadership that they were supposed to be doing. So she's asked me to look at this and to see what we can do better. So looking at this book, there's a lot of different areas. There's like the phone numbers, just kind of like about the YMCA, the key concepts that they think are important, their strategic plan. This is their payroll and accounting software that they use. This is just looking at the YMCA brand. This is their leadership development section. And this is the hiring process that they have for hiring new staff. Their employee handbook. And this is just some general information about their pay. And again, this is their payroll. Some more direction on their payroll. This is their incident reporting and emergency, how to deal with emergency, crisis, and that kind of stuff section. And a lot of these are empty. And then this is another book that is all of their leadership development. So I had some interviews with some different staff members, some people that have recently completed the program, who have recently come into the program director's position, and also some that have been there for a while, and got their opinion on kind of where these things should take place. Day 1, within 30 days, within 1 week, within 90 days. So I took all that information and I tabbed the book. And then what I did is I took the material that was in this book and I made a new book for them. And this is just kind of a rough template. I did not copy every single material. I just wanted to give her an idea of what should go where. So I completed a checklist, and these are all the things based on the interviews, based on my research, and based on the need of the YMCA that I found that needed to be done on day 1. So I put all this in here, and then I just kind of gave just a few examples of things that I thought should go in this. Day 1, the employees should be getting their handbook for sure, and be expected to read it. They need to know how they're going to get paid, when they're going to get paid. Phone number directory. They need to know who to contact. And this is the structure of the YMCA all the way up from the president and CEO down. So they kind of understand where they're at in the whole scheme of things. This copy here is not updated, so this is something that she would need to update. They need to know how to report incidents that may happen. They need to know, that more so that these things need to happen, not exactly how to do them. That way they can get some assistance with that on day 1. So within the first week, they really need to be reviewing those key concepts that were in the binder. They need to know how to order their supplies. They need to know about administrative forms, schedule the training if they're not CPR certified or anything like that. They need to get that stuff scheduled. They need to learn how to work the front desk, how to give tours. They need to review the hiring process and procedures because they will be expected to hire their own staff eventually. They also need training on just simple stuff like the phone, the office equipment, the mail. They need to meet with their supervisor for a one-on-one session within the first week. where they discuss expectations, set SMART goals, and they need to review the YMCA of doing things. One of the program directors that I met with is the director of the aquatics, and she was CPR certified, she was lifeguard certified, she knew how to give swimming lessons. So they threw her in on the first day to a swimming lessons class. Well, she didn't know the YMCA's process of doing swimming lessons. So I thought that was very important that they review that kind of stuff before they're expected to do it. Those are just the 5 core concepts that they use at the YMCA, and their strategic leadership management of the 4 Ps: place, promotion, price, product. And then the payroll. This is more of the hiring practices. And then now we're up to 30 days. And within the 30 days, what should be happening is learning about all of the programs that are available in the YMCA, because they probably will get some questions. I also think it's important that they know the history of the YMCA, and also to have an in-depth discussion about the YMCA as an organization, which really needs to focus on the mission and value statement. At this point, I think that they need to have weekly one-on-one meetings with their supervisor, where they again review those expectations and work on their goals. They also, one of the program directors that I interviewed kind of had a concern that she felt almost alone in her area because she didn't know any peers. So at this time, I put in here to meet and tour other YMCA locations with their peer directors. I thought maybe one a week, allow 1 to 2 hours of that day. And that just kind of helps build a relationship with some of the other program directors, and they can kind of bounce ideas off each other and that kind of stuff. She said that she may not feel comfortable, calling up somebody at a different YMCA with a problem if she didn't know them, but if she had met them, she would definitely feel more comfortable with that. Review benefits. The YMCA employees are not eligible for benefits until they've been there 30 days. So at this time, they need to really review their benefits and choose what they're going to have. Also, this is their accounting software and their payroll software. And at this point, they really need some in-depth training on that so they can be really responsible for that. Also, some marketing. They need to know how that works. Certain programs, the program directors are expected to work on their own marketing. They also need to know the cleaning expectations of the YMCA and what they need to be doing. Also, membership sales. They need to know the different types of memberships. And they also need to attend a director meeting. And this connection with the Omaha Way team, this is kind of where all of the program directors get together, and they have committees, and they're working on different projects. One of the program directors that I interviewed, she didn't even know what the Omaha Way team was, and she went to her first meeting, and apparently she was supposed to be working on a project that she had no idea about. So that's going to be really important to talk about that. And these are just the signature programs of the YMCA. And then 60 days. I put that the employees should definitely be meeting with the supervisor one-on-one every other week to review those expectations and goals. And at this time, it might be important to really look at that Leadership U, which is, a program that they have at the YMCA to look at, building their leadership skills. And that's something that is not done at this time, and I think it's really important that they do that, just to have at least some general leadership development going on. And then 90 days and beyond, they should be meeting with their supervisor at least once a month to look at their expectations and their goals. Also, this is where the leadership development program really needs to take off. They do not utilize this very much right now because there is an expense involved. And they almost seem like they don't really value the program because their staff turnover is so high. And one of the reasons I think it's so high is because they really don't do anything to develop that staff. So they kind of feel, they feel lost. Maybe they're unprepared. Most of the program director staff does come in with a minimum of an associate's degree. And a lot of them do have bachelor's degrees, but they're more in like early childhood education, and the one that I talked to, she had a bachelor's degree in something with like exercise science. So it's really not leadership-based programs or even business classes that these people have taken to come into these positions. So it's really important that they develop those leaders. One of the options that they have to first work on this leadership stuff is they have the ability to take an online assessment, and this really narrows down where they need to focus their skills on. So, you know, somebody might need, you know, more help with communication. And, you know, this book gives some tips, but it also talks about some training opportunities, some self-study guides, and, you know, somebody else might have decision making that they need to work on. You know, this is something they really need to develop more. And like I said, they are hesitant to do that because it is costly. These classes can cost $40 and more for them to put their staff through it. But I think it's really important, and I have stressed that in my presentation to the organization. So hopefully this project will help them to kind of organize their training more, because right now they're just kind of getting thrown in with basically no training. So I'm hoping this will help them, and I've really enjoyed working with the organization. I think it's great, and thank you very much.